Does online counselling work? Perhaps the big question on everyone's lips. Maybe not everyone. Does online counselling work? Okay, now I'm going to have to read some of the blog that I've written. You've heard me talk about online counselling. You know I help people who feel lost and feel they've lost themselves and who are stuck. You know I often work with people suffering from depression or anxiety or other childhood traumas like sexual abuse, neglect, broken families and other traumas. But you might ask yourself, does online counselling even work? The easy answer is yes. Using counselling and art therapy techniques, my clients work through the patterns they're currently living in, understand and learn to know themselves better, identify changes they want to make, and then gradually make those changes. Sometimes just realizing what they're doing and how they came to be doing those things in that way and seeing it all from a different perspective is enough to flip the switch and changes happen without much effort at all. But other times it takes time, but it does work. All of this is the same whether we meet in person or online. Did you hear that? Online counselling makes no difference whatsoever about it, the fact that it's online. There are many books, academic articles and studies done that comment on the effectiveness of online counselling. Just search Google Scholar for online therapy or online counselling effectiveness. Like all the studies, you will likely find arguments on both sides, but considering the rapid increase of online counselling in many countries of the world, it seems that effectiveness is not in question. Is online counselling for every kind of problem? There are such a wide range of problems that people seek counselling help for. Depression and anxiety are common, grief and loss, relationships both within an adult relationship and between family members, difficulties with social interactions, other mental health problems and diagnoses, self-esteem and self-confidence, eating disorders, weight issues, anger management, conflict resolution. Gosh, I've written so many of them here. When considering if online counselling will be effective with each of these, it's the counsellor's job to consider the appropriateness of online counselling. It's my job. The counsellor, me, will consider if your safety needs can be met when you are not meeting physically in the same location. Because you are meeting online, you may not both be located in the same city or even in the same country. It's my job to think through all the possibilities that you might not even consider, to be sure that you are safe while in the session and between sessions. What if our conversation brings up some very upsetting or triggering topics and you need some serious mental health care in person and in the moment? I may not be able to provide that from my distant location. It's my job to consider how we will manage that and if my distance from you will potentially cause more harm than good. In that case, online counselling might not be the best possible option. The online counsellor will also consider the non-verbal communication that may be lost when we are communicating through video like this. I can't see your feet, your lower body, or what you're doing while we speak. That if I could see when we were together, that might give me information more than just your face and your words. Does that make sense? Your physical presentation might be particularly important in some situations like treating eating disorders, that I might not get the full picture if we're not together in the same room. There may be some other non-verbal communication that's lost in the online interaction. It's my job as the online counsellor to assess the likelihood that these things might be a barrier to our safe and effective work. Even with these considerations, some people have few options in their location. Online counselling might be a better option than no counselling at all, even considering the potential safety issues. It's something that we will have to discuss and work through. Overall, I feel confident to say that online counselling works for most people with most kinds of problems. But it's up to you as well as me. I've got some stuff I need to consider. You need to consider if you feel comfortable with it. Do you think you can open up when I'm not there in the room? Do you think you can trust me when maybe I go a bit blurry sometimes? You need to think about those things. And some people just are going to prefer to be in person, and that's okay. I am not saying that all counselling should be provided online. I'm just saying that it is effective when we choose to do it. And that's it from me about, what was the topic again? Does online counselling work? Hope that was interesting and helpful for you. That's it from me, Dione from After the Rain Arts Therapy. Bye.